what are the stages that would need to teach speech delayed children to attain sentence level? So if your child is like nonverbal right now or stuck with single words, this is the video for you. Or even if your child is speaking in I want phrases, we'll talk about that as well. Okay, don't mind me if my eyes are going this way because I need to look at my notes while I was talking about this. So the 4 stages are words, verbs, childlike sentences, and adult sentences. All right, a lot of times when I see parents or therapists, or just in general people who are teaching delayed children, they always go into the I want sentences. I want sentences are actually worse than short phrases that have a subject and a verb, or a verb or object. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well, and what sentence structure means, the complexity is all about, because when you're teaching someone linguistics of a certain language or any type of language, it's all about their understanding of sentence structure, okay, of grammar, of where the words should go in different places. If, let's say, if I know that in English, the whole thing goes SVO, subject, verb, object, in that order. Whenever I hear someone say something, I can guess at least that's a verb, right? So that in itself really helps a child to learn a sentence. So a lot of times, the goals of the therapy I see are quite astounding. A lot of times it's like, I want the cookie, and then the next step the therapist will think is like, mommy, comma, I want the cookie. Or like, it would be, mommy, can I please have the cookie? So it goes like from cookie, I want cookie, mommy, someone, comma, I want cookie, to mommy, can I please have the cookie? So all of these, they don't add a lot of value. They don't have a lot of semantic value, is what we call. It's because it's literally saying the same thing. A child could say cookie and still convey the same meaning as mommy, can I please have the cookie, right? So there's no real reason why we would want to go into that path. And I've put down some studies below that say exactly the same thing. Someone called Dr. Pamela Hadley has also had a sentence focused framework. I've linked it down below. It's literally saying the stuff we've been saying on this channel for a long time. And now I want to say, this is not my method, not Ming's method, not Agents of Speech method. The things that we talk about are very textbook. You can listen to anyone who practices therapy and you will see the same thing. If someone understands language therapy, they will say around the same thing. You don't have to listen to me per se, okay? In fact, right, if you have a lot of I want sentences, it doesn't predict a child's language performance or their ability. What we usually look for in an assessment is that, do they have a large amount of vocabulary in different categories? So nouns, adjectives, locatives, right? Locatives meaning inside, outside, on top, whatever. And then you also have verbs, right? The more of these verbs or whatever, the higher the chance and the predictor that the child will do well in a language therapy setting. And that's what we call prognosis. Some parents will email me with this word that they've learned, and they will say, Ming, what's the prognosis of my child given what I've summarized to you? I'm like, how would I know? I don't know the language profile. So the language profile is a few things: the amount of vocab, and also the language and or grammatical complexity that they have right now. So let's go through the 4 stages after a bunch of rambling that I've done, okay? The first part is words. All children, all people, they all started learning language with nouns. Those are the words that we refer to a real object in the real world object that we can see concretely, right? And it might be that it's a noun object. It could be that it's a color, a concept, a number, and stuff. And that's why you see a lot of children who are delayed, they're stuck on the nouns, or stuck on the words, stuck on the concepts. They're stuck on those things that they can see, they can touch, and easily understand. And all of us, if we're learning a second language or third language, those are the words that we tackle first because it's tangible, sort of. The second stage is verbs. So verbs are a lot more, as we say, abstract, because it's a motion of which is very hard to be conveyed, meaning it's very hard to see and understand it with a flashcard or a picture. It needs to be action that is acted out, or it might be a video that makes it easier for a child to understand. Because if you say it's happening, right, that, and then the child's going to say ball because they see someone throwing a ball and say it's happening, ball, right? So that means they don't have the verbs, right? So the second stage is verbs. It's very important. We always encourage parents to teach the verbs first. And even if you're a therapist, and we've gotten loads of therapists on our community, on our free courses for parents, verbs are very important and usually not looked at. And the reason why sign language in like American, British, whatever sign language is a good way to teach more language in the long run is because that sign language actually helps children to acquire more verbs. It's more meaningful when you do this. Everyone, you don't speak my language, I don't speak your language, I don't speak English, I don't speak whatever. When I do this, you know what? I'm hungry, I want to eat, right? I'm thirsty. Meaningful. Why? Verbs are so important. Okay, and then after that, you go into the third stage, which is childlike sentences. When you search online, you'll see telegraphic phrases, telegraphic sentences. The reason why it's called that non-layman term, meaning as a professional term, is because type telegraphs back then, very hard to put in the functional words, make it all grammatical correct. You just want the message to be across because you have to be very efficient. And tend to speak like that and acquiring languages, right? Cannot make a phrase without a verb. If you think about it, a verb is the glue of a sentence. And if you've taken linguistics to any, and I'm no linguist, I'm pretty crap at that. A sentence is whenever you have a subject plus a predicate, and a predicate is basically what we call a verb phrase, meaning the verb comes first and everything comes behind. Verbs, you cannot make sentences. Like sentences is when children start to put things together, such as mommy eat, right? Apple, right? Apple mommy, give them red apple to mommy. They deleted the words in the middle. And afterwards, we can go into adult sentences. So when we start to be able to know the grammatical roles of each word and where they go in a sentence, it's much easier than to teach adult-like sentences there, okay? Amusing that we're finally putting it into a stage that's coherent for people to understand. A lot of times when people go down this route, they will think about, oh, what are the milestones? What are they supposed to do? One thinks in a very analytical way about how to teach and construct sentences in this way. So anyways, sources and these are all down below that you can take a look at, that we've been talking about and what the evidence is backed, where the evidence is backed. And if you enjoyed this video, want to learn more, you can go to www.agentsofspeech.com/course to grab free courses on how to teach speech delayed children at home. Okay, it's all free, so go ahead, enter your email, and you'll get in your inbox how to sign up. Okay, that's it for now, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye.